guys, what's going on? It's MassiveJoes RAW review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome raw review for the viewers at home today on an all new BCAA supplement from an all new supplement line yielding out of the world famous Westside Barbell in Columbus, Ohio. It is, of course, Westside Conjugate in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. That nutritional information panel ain't gonna get it done. We're about to go balls deep in this here Westside Conjugate BCAAs. Luckily, got ourselves a big ass nutritional information panel for the viewers at home. Dilip, go ahead and cut that panel up on the screen for the viewers, my man. Starting from the top, we're talking about one scoop, the serving size, one scoop at 10.7 grams. Got yourself about 30 of them 10.7 gram one scoop bitches in one of these 30 serve Westside Conjugate bitches. In terms of what the 30 serves, the 10.7 gram scoops are made up of, if we do a quick summation and we add up all of the active ingredients, we can see we're dealing with 9.09 grams of actives in a 10.7 gram scoop. That means we're dealing with just 15% flavor, color, and sweetener, which is spectacular for a BCAA supplement. Anything under 20% is really, really good. When you start going like sub 15 and sub 15, absolutely spectacular. Moving right along, let's get into what those 9.090 grams are made up of. Starting from the top, we have potassium as the Albion registered version, potassium glycinate complex, 45 milligrams, in combination with magnesium, another Albion produced Trax registered version of magnesium biglycinate chelate in a 40 milligram dose. Those are your electrolytes in this here Westside Conjugate. Gonna put them electrolytes back in that you sweat out while you're training. We'll note that they're not big dosages. The potassium only 45 milligrams, the magnesium only 40 milligrams. But these Albion versions are very highly biologically available, or what we call bioavailable versions of these electrolytes. So the cool thing when you use the really highly bioavailable electrolytes in a BCAA supplement is you don't have to use a lot of them because your body is able to actually use the electrolytes. And because you don't have to use a lot of them, you don't run the risk of making your BCAAs taste salty or electrolyte-y when you're using shitloads of electrolytes. Moving right along, let's get into the good stuff. We move now into our BCAAs. Leucine, 4,000 milligrams per scoop. We're gonna jump across glutamine. We'll come back to that in a second. Isoleucine, 1,000 milligrams. Valine, 1,000 milligrams. So we're talking about a 4:1:1 ratio of leucine to isoleucine to valine. So twice the ratio of the scientifically proven 2:1:1 ratio. We're talking about 6 total grams of BCAAs per scoop, which is really good. It's not the most we've seen per scoop in a BCAA supplement, but anything over 5 grams in a BCAA supplement per scoop is really good. We're talking about 6 grams in this Westside Conjugate, and we're talking about a 4:1:1 leucine ratio, which some people may argue leucine, being the most anabolic of all the branched chain amino acids, gonna have the biggest effect on muscle protein synthesis, that the higher leucine you go, the better the BCAA ratio is. That being said, the scientifically proven ratio is the 2:1:1. This Westside Conjugate has the 4:1:1. Then we're gonna jump back and we're gonna go back to the glutamine. We have glutamine per scoop. We're talking 3,000 milligrams, 3 grams of glutamine per scoop, which off the top of my head would have to be, I would have to say that's probably the highest amount of glutamine we've seen per scoop in a BCAA supplement thus far. 3 grams is huge. 2.5, I think, is the biggest we've seen up until this point. So 3 grams of glutamine per scoop in this Westside Barbell Westside Conjugate. Glutamine obviously going to help with muscle recovery, especially in combination with your BCAAs, the 6 grams of BCAAs in the 4:1:1 ratio. Moving right along, finally, we've got our bioperin, the black pepper extract in the clinically proven efficacious dose of 5 milligrams. That's going to help your body absorb, in particular, the BCAAs in this here Westside Conjugate. Got yourself some artificial colors, artificial flavors. And that's what's in it. So quite a simple supplement, 6 grams of BCAAs, 4:1:1 ratio, stupid amount of glutamine per serve. Got some electrolytes in there as well, and that's pretty much what you're talking, that's what's in it. And the bioperin, of course, to help your body absorb it. Very simple supplement. The cool thing about it, as with all of the Westside Barbell supplements, the Westside Performance Nutrition supplements, is full disclosure on the nutritional information panel, which is great because it means we can go balls deep, tell you guys exactly what's in it and exactly the amounts, and we can break it apart. In terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, comes in one flavor. Comes in, where's it at? Got my finger over it. Comes in lemonade. That's the only flavor at the moment. I have been told, being a new supplement only coming out to the market with one flavor, I have been told by the guys at Westside Performance Nutrition that there are more flavors in the mix. But to start off with, we only have this one flavor, the lemonade. Got myself a brand spanking new tub of this Westside Conjugate BCAA formula, man. Gotta bro punch this bitch in. Team MassiveJoes style, of course. Infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test about to go down. If I can find the damn scoop, it's right at the top. That's what we like to see, man. Got myself my Team MassiveJoes Elite Performance Shaker with 10 ounces of water. So I'm going to follow the directions as they are written on the Westside Conjugate. Mix 1 to 2 scoops with 8 to 10 ounces of water. I'm going to go 1 scoop in 10, because 10 ounces is not a lot of water. If you're going 2 scoops and you're getting 12 grams of amino acids, you're going to be wanting to go a whole shaker. So I'm going to do 1 scoop in 10 ounces of water for the infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test. That's my 1 scoop of the Westside Conjugate. Throw this bitch in this bitch. Let me pop the top on of this Team MassiveJoes Elite Shaker, man. Few flicks of the wrist. I'm going to show you guys how it mixes. Refresh my memory on how this lemonade flavor tastes. That's enough. All right, so check it. Shit, yeah. Look at that, viewers. Look at that. Give me some zoom and focus action on that glass, man. That is one perfectly mixed BCAA. Little bit of floaters on the top. That is what we are used to seeing when you start to go higher ratio BCAAs, in particular your 4:1:1 ratio with a lot of leucine, because leucine does tend to float. But apart from that, nothing in the middle. There's no sinkers. It is pretty much perfectly mixed. That being said, it is a BCAA supplement, so you are gonna throw it in a shaker and throw it down in a shaker. So I would go so far as to say blender bowl is required. For this here Westside Performance Conjugate, let me refresh my memory on how this brightly colored lemonade tastes, man. I would have to say, and you guys know, I keep it 100 with you in raw reviews. You guys know that I'm not a big fan of citrus flavors, which means usually lemon, lemonade, lime, lemon lime, orange, mandarin, tangerine, any other citrus flavors you can think of do not sit well with me. But I would have to say that's probably the nicest lemonade flavor that I have tried. And the reason why I think it's the nicest is because it's not too strong, it's not too pungent. It's a really kind of light lemonade flavor. A really quite a pleasant lemonade flavor. It's not a blow your head off, really bitter tasting lemon. It's really quite good. Very easy to drink. By far the best lemonade flavored BCAA, if not supplement, that I have tried. And you can tell that they've only used 15% flavor because it's not in your face, it's not blow your head off, but just a really nice lemonade flavor in terms of the effects. Because that's what you're taking the shit for. And there's a couple of things that I have to tell you guys straight off the top. You know that whenever we drop raw reviews on BCAA supplements, there's a few things that we look for when we're talking about intra-workout use for BCAAs. The first thing we look for is a good dose of BCAAs. This Westside Conjugate, you got 6 grams per scoop. That's a very good dose of BCAAs. The second thing we look for is 2-1-1 scientifically proven ratio. This Westside Conjugate does not have the 2-1-1 scientifically proven ratio. It has the 4-1-1 instead, which, as I mentioned, some people may prefer because it is the higher proportion, the higher ratio of leucine than the 2-1-1 ratio. The next thing we look for is something that's going to help with muscular endurance. Something like a creatine phosphate, a beta-alanine, a taurine, something like that. This Westside Conjugate does not have anything for muscular endurance. The last thing that we tend to look for in a BCAA supplement for intra-workout use is something for muscle pump. So we're looking for an agmatine, a citrulline malate, maybe perhaps even a glycerol, something to help with muscle volumization, nitric oxide production. This here Westside Conjugate does not have anything for muscle pump or muscle volume at all. So in terms of our usual test for intra-workout BCAA, it doesn't stack up very well, to be honest with you guys. For real, we got to keep it 100 in the raw reviews. Let me disclaim that by pointing two things out. For those of you who don't know about Westside Barbell, you should pause this video and go Google Westside Barbell. Now that we're all on the same page, Westside Barbell is the strongest gym in the world. It is a powerlifting, strength, performance-based gym. These supplements have been formulated with Louis Simmons, the owner of Westside Barbell, looking over the formulation. And it even says on the products, it says it right there, zoom and focus action on that one, Louis Simmons approved. So these supplements are Louis Simmons approved. They are specifically designed for powerlifters. So when we go back to the test that we usually apply to BCAA supplements and we put our powerlifting hat on and we go from a powerlifter's perspective, what would you like to see in a BCAA supplement? Things like anti-fatigue, not important because powerlifters don't train in the fatigue rep range. Things like muscle pump, not only not important, something that as a powerlifter you don't want. You don't want stupid muscle pumps during your workouts because it's going to affect your lift. So when you look at it from a powerlifter's perspective, it makes a lot of sense why Westside Performance Nutrition have left out things to help with muscular endurance because they're not necessary and things to help with muscle pump because you don't want it. What you want as a powerlifter is big dose of BCAAs, lots of leucine, something to help with muscle recovery, hence the stupid dose of glutamine, and then something to help with electrolytes because you're training for a long time and sweating a lot, so you got to put those electrolytes back in. And that's effectively how Westside have come to the formula they've used in this Westside Conjugate. The second thing is we always address BCAAs from a during the day type use. So if you're not looking to use it intra-workout, but you're looking for something during the day, how does it stack up as a during the day amino? The fact that it doesn't have beta-alanine in there, so it's not gonna give you tingles, is really good for during the day because no one wants to be sitting at their desk drinking BCAAs being all tingly and shit. The fact that it doesn't have an agmatine, which can upset your stomach, is also a big positive for a during the day BCAA. And then finally, the fact that you do have more leucine, the most anabolic of the BCAAs, the one that has the biggest effect on muscle protein synthesis, You've got more of that in the 4:1:1 ratio is also advantageous for during the day use if you're having it with meals, in between meals, and you're trying to increase your protein synthesis during the day. That is also a positive. And then finally, the last positive is the flavoring. The fact that it's 15% flavor, the fact that I don't like citrus, and this is a delicious BCAA, even in my personal opinion. You can drink it all damn day long, and it's not that overpowering flavor that you're gonna get sick of, is also a big tick for during the day or in between meal use of BCAAs. So guys, I would say that if you're looking for a BCAA supplement, particularly specifically designed with powerlifting in mind, this obviously ticks all the boxes in that regard. But even for those of us who are not interested in just the specific use of an intra-workout BCAA specifically for powerlifting, but you're looking for something to have during the day to help increase muscle protein synthesis without any of the kind of unwanted side effects that you may have in other BCAA supplements, you gotta go and get yourself some of this Louis Simmons approved Westside Westside Performance Conjugate a shot. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Stay up to date with all the latest editions of MassiveJoes RAW review and everything else in our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on the mobile, don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. Guys, that is MassiveJoes RAW review on the all new Westside Conjugate in the house. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.